Hey, y'all. Welcome to Shade and the City. I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nose.
And today we are here with a special guest, Mr. Vacate JTV. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for having me. Oh, you want one of those? Okay, I got you.
Yes, give us one of those.
There we go.
Yes, thank you so much for being here with us to recap BMF Season 4, Episode... What? Is this? It is not Episode 9.
It's Episode 4, I believe.
It is 4. Y'all forgive me. Forgive me.
It's all right.
Okay.
All right.
It's rush. And that's terrible because that's been like that since yesterday. So I don't know. Y'all probably think we ending the season at this point. I apologize. Y'all know what I meant. But yeah, thank you so much, Vacay. If y'all missed the recap for the Shy yesterday, these two did a wonderful job. I was just telling them backstage. I was a little jealous because I was in the party. I was at the party, but I wasn't, like the host, so I couldn't really take credit. You know what I'm saying? But how well the party went. But shout out to both of them for doing a wonderful job. So for everybody, if you have not already, you know how it goes here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let the algorithm do what it do.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's get into this episode. I'ma say DeMarcus, hey, how you doing, boo? I love that, you're not always there when we call, but you're always on time, DeMarcus. You're always on time. Episode was a solid 7. I'm gonna have to 6.5, 7. 6.5, 7. I felt like this was a little slower. Maybe I'm wrong, but or maybe my co-hosts disagree, but I thought it was a little slower than what we've seen, but it was still a good episode. There was a couple moments that I can't wait for Nels to give her opinion about.
I'm gonna give it a 4 because I think there was a perfect opportunity for Charles to get his ass whooped, and that's just
I knew it. I knew she was gonna say something about Charles needing to get out. Okay,
I thought this was the time, and then now all of a sudden Charles is Superman and beating people's ass in the street, and I just wasn't with it.
I kind of was here for it, but honestly, I was like, see, this is why you don't need to be out here just dating people. You know what I'm saying? Just random people hollering. Like, maybe you need to be more careful.
He literally just said, oh, yeah, my ex used to follow me. And then here go the ex popping up.
Right. It was real suspicious. It was real suspicious, y'all. But yeah, so let me go ahead.
It's given they do this so they can have a fun little nightcap at the end of the night. Like, oh, you turned me on. That was so fun.
No, she looked horrified.
She did.
She looked horrified.
She was.
Look, she's a good actress. She a little skank, okay?
Look, if she got turned on by that, I'm looking at her sideways. What are you into, ma'am? Okay, that's that real.
Doesn't
look, that's that S&M stuff. We don't kink shame over here, but still, you know what I'm saying? That's a little too much for me. All right, y'all, let's get into this intro, and then let's get shady. So can I just say, and this is a big shout out to our co-host for the day, Vacay J, but thank you for sending me that photo before we got up here, because I'm going to be honest with you. I definitely didn't see Aaliyah when I looked at Purdy. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. I didn't see
it. Okay. So thank God I have to send it's in the chat. If you go into the messages on Instagram, you'll see it. He sent me a picture, and I guess they were supposed to be dressing Purdy. Like, she was supposed to look like this one here, actually. She's supposed to be like Aaliyah.
Oh, with the swoop?
With the swoop. Go look at the picture, and then you look at her there. You're going to be like, oh, okay. But yeah, if he hadn't sent it to me, I wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
DeMarcus said, what pastor do you know on welfare? Lucille is horrible.
One's with an ex-husband that is living in the house for free and needs to move the hell out.
DeMarcus, why did you get her started? you know how she feel. Like, you have to know that she's gonna be going off this whole episode. Like, literally, I was sitting back and I was like, they just pissing nails off, scene after scene, giving her something to go on a diatribe about.
Can I give my rating real quick? Can I give my rating?
Give your rating. I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's all good. I was gonna give it a 4, but then I bumped it up to a 5.
Okay.
And it got bumped up because of Nell's favorite guy. You know what I'm saying? He actually defended himself.
So you bumped it up for the same reason why I bumped it
down. Exactly. It just equaled out. We went. We squared it away. You know what I'm saying?
That is too funny.
Y'all are hilarious. DeMarcus told you to stop hating on Cecilia. CC. I
need you to understand the definition of hate, sir.
Y'all stupid. Nicole got it from her mama, Lucille, aka Lucille, stunting like her daddy Charles. Raw dog Nicole. Well, y'all did say she ends up pregnant, so I wasn't surprised that the girl ain't gonna make it to the school. It doesn't surprise.
Too fast.
Yeah. What? Take your time, young girl. And mama used to say, don't you rush to get old. I'm sorry, y'all. That's the jam. Came off the dome. Just like that. Anyway.
Get a bomb for that.
Oh, thank you. So anyway, we kick off this episode. Loco. It's called Power Trippin', by the way. At least my notes was titled right. It's season 4 in my notes. Episode 4 in my notes. Okay. So Loco, Meech, and Terry, they find their way to some remote store in the middle of this desert that they was in, right? And they go in to get water and snacks, and the people's like giving them the strange glances and stuff. And so then Loco notices the policia, La Policia. We done ran into the La Policia in Puerto Rico before, you know what I'm saying? But we had a good time with them. And so they pull up, and then they hide, and Loco sneaks up on the officer in the store, and he knocks him out real quick. And I actually thought he had pow-powed him, but we learned that he didn't, because then we later see him, he got both of them hung up, and he's just having fun torturing them, like, pow-powing at their feet and whatnot. And so of course he brings Meech in on the fun. And so Terry's like, oh, really? Is this what we doing? We need to get out of here before more policia show up, my nigga. What are you doing? And so, so they ride off in the cop vehicle, which I was like, oh, that's smart. That's smart. There were no other vehicles around. I mean, if it was the only one, but I mean, no, you guys don't look suspicious at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. 2 black men rolling around in a, policia vehicle in Mexico. That's not suspicious.
All right. So then we see Meech. He got Purdy in Duffy's studio talking about, she can have free studio time. Said, they started their own label, and they want her to be the first artist that they sign. So, she's like, is that why you Negroes gave me the cards for my video? And it was like, no, like, you got a real story to tell. It's relatable. And she said that she's been telling Trell for months that she wants to rap, but he just wants her to be this little R&B princess. So Meech told her, listen, we can do all of that. We can rebrand you, make you the artist that you want to be. And said, we create the demand and supply it. So, she said she got a lot to think about because she's already under contract with this dude. And he was like, listen, we'll figure all of that out. So she asked if he can get her to the Source Awards. And he said, you know what, I got to go to St. Louis. I'll fly you there and put you up in a nice little hotel. And she was just like, well, if you backing me, I'm fronting you. Like, girl, what?
Well, first of all, what I didn't take seriously is when she came out here and said she wanted to rap.
Oh yeah, I was like, I wanted to hit a rap. Like,
apparently, I wanted her to bust something. If you gonna say, you know what I'm saying, give me a bar or something.
Give me something.
Apparently, Trell didn't take her seriously either, because he said it ain't happening.
Right.
And he said a lot of these fools out here rapping about the streets, but they never made it off the porch. And he told her he's the real deal. So she said, I gotta see it to believe it.
Okay.
So
I gotta hear it to believe it, because you say
rap. And see, he heard the R&B, but yeah, he didn't ask to hear. He didn't ask to hear no bars. So,
and that's what I'm saying. What label you go to where they just say, yeah, we'll sign you. We believe in you. I said, Meech, you cannot be that desperate to get somebody on this label. And I was with Terry when he said get somebody else to do it. We ain't got to sign her. He was like, what are we doing?
He shouldn't have did.
Yeah. DeMarcus said Terry is a better businessman than Meech. I will say that this episode, I did see that. But is he really a better businessman, DeMarcus, when he's still getting played by Markeisha? But we'll get into that. So yeah, now we see Lucille. She's at home with Estelle, and I literally sent you a message and I unsent it because they ended up saying her name. But I was like, what is this heifer's name?
I was ready to send you back the answer to it. I was on the road. I pulled up the BMF show just to get the answer for you. And then I was like, who sent me the message? Where did the message go? Because you it's all good.
So Lucille Estelle. So Lucille is at home with Estelle, who's asking, how to pass the job is going. And Lucille tells her, it's a lot because she's counseling people with the financial problems and she got her own damn problems. Okay. And so she goes through her list of bills and now she got Nicole's room and board included in that. And Estelle is confused because she was like, I thought Nicole got a scholarship. And Lucille says, yeah, but that don't cover the room and board. That's only for tuition. And so she's like, Nicole started working down at Terry's restaurant, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Okay. It's not. And so she don't know what she gonna do. And so, and she's like, and I can't take money from Meech or Terry. So we just out here and I'm trying to get on this welfare. Well, no, Estelle said, well, look, why don't you get on the welfare? And she was like, nah, girl, Charles live here. I ain't gonna be able to qualify for that. She said, lie, bitch, what you talking about? What do you mean, lie? And I was kind of here with her, like, yeah. And so she was like, that's your problem. You too much honest. And so Lucille sees that, Estelle is really, because this whole time they're having a conversation, she's rolling and twirling around in this
fur coat.
Right. And so she was like, well, I
felt like it looked better on her.
I kind of felt the same way. And so she's like, you know what? I'm a pawn this fur. And Estelle was like, even better, why don't you take that dusty ass ring that you're not wearing no more and pawn it? And I said, well, but then literally when this happened, I said, how much money is Lucille really gonna get off that ring? Like, not trying to be, but her and Charles got married super young. How much money did Charles really drop on a ring for Lucille? Like, what did she I don't know if they showed it on the receipt, but I would really like to know how much she really got. I don't see
no figure on the receipt.
Because I was like, it couldn't have been that much, in my opinion.
Right.
Because Charles has been broke for years. It sounds like for years.
You hear that, DeMarcus and Steele?
Oh,
hey, he's working at GM. He can't be that broke working at General Motors. Okay, he ain't that broke.
That's why the house was. But he also got 3 kids.
And
that's the problem.
And they had kids and spending it tricking.
Yeah, he had to spend money on the kids. That's why he ain't fixed the house.
That ain't what I said.
You stupid. Look, that's what she said. That's not what I said. He out there tricking.
That ain't what I said.
He out there painting other people's walls. That's the problem. Yes. DeMarcus said Meech got his karma when Jay pushed a backdoored Meech with Loco. Absolutely. We're gonna get into that. Just like Meech backdoored Terry with the meeting with Loco, right? And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Meech just the fact that he continues to overlook Terry and trust these outsiders, that's what gets him in trouble, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Why didn't Lucille pawn her wedding ring to get Nicole out of jail? Woo!
Well, we see she wasn't even thinking about pawning it now.
But that's a good point.
She had to be.
If I was Charles, I'd be like,
because Charles ain't put a dime in that damn house, so you need to come up with something.
She probably was like, this ring ain't worth nothing, so that's why she ain't think about it.
I was gonna say, and that's probably why Charles didn't suggest it, because he's like, I know I ain't pay shit for that ring. So
right. let me not do that. Box ring, you know what I'm saying? Right. I love you, girl.
I know.
All right. So then Terry had B. Mickey meet him at the restaurant. He said he's about to go to St. Louis and he got to make sure he can trust him before he leaves. So he had him stripped down to make sure he wasn't wired. Then he told him he needs him and Hoop to keep his eyes on someone because he's questioning their loyalty and he needs answers. I already knew it was Markeisha, but they tried to leave us in suspense. Then Brian,
I kind of had a feeling, but I didn't know.
I knew it was Markeisha because after that whole thing, and he was talking about, oh, you tried to set me up, blah 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 blah.
Oh, sir, yeah, the sting.
He was about to jump out the car on her own. Like, you sound stupid, but whatever. Like, yeah, I knew it was Markeisha. So Brian went to go see Hardy and shows him who bought the stolen car in Atlanta and said that he goes by the alias Don Ginkgo, and said he also is wanted for murder in Detroit. So Hardy said he does remember him, but he said, this guy, he likes to spend all his money in Atlanta. He's the type of guy that likes to spend his money in a strip club in Atlanta, and told him, listen, start there. But told him, listen, I can't help you, okay? Because too many people know me, and yeah, you on your own, homie.
Basically, get out of here, okay? So then, yeah, I was like, stand up for yourself.
Vendetta like you do, sir.
Right. And not even that. I could appreciate, like, no, do your own work, sir. I got a job.
I'm not
personally I don't report to you. I don't answer to you.
I'm not invested the way you are.
Right. I like living. So we see that Terry is down at LaWanda house, and he's like asking her how things
aggravated me.
What aggravated you?
That he was at LaWanda's house.
Oh, his kids live there, right?
So he didn't give a damn before. You only come over there when you want something or you need something, and it shows. Because you needed something. You need a favor.
Nels is getting in all these men's asses, okay?
And LaWanda's silly ass is, yeah, I'm always down for you. No, nigga, go store that shit somewhere. Go put that shit in I don't know. But look, you can't keep it here with me and my kids. You didn't give a damn about us, but I do. So go find somewhere else. Go store it in Marquisha's coochie for all I get.
Nels is going in today, boy.
Okay. Well, no, she really don't see it for Terry or Charles. She really don't.
I got it.
Or LaWanda, because she played dumb. She annoyed me.
That is the man. I get what you're saying, but that is the man that supports her. That's where her money comes from. So
and you want to go regardless because I got your kids. What are you saying?
He could. That don't mean he got to take care of them.
Take care of who?
His kids.
Trace. Yes, he does.
I'm just saying, just because men have money, that don't mean that they use it on their kids.
Guess what? What I don't need is somebody busting down my doors to try to get what you came and brought up in here. And I'm getting a whole nother job anyway. So yeah, if that's what you choose not to do, then go on and don't do it. Okay? But go find somewhere else to stash that shit.
Okay. Nell said that with her chest. So so basically she let him know that she quit being a hairstylist because she didn't want to do that and be a therapist. Okay. It's like one of them jobs, like when you a bartender and people just want to talk to you and
I couldn't do that.
Release themselves, and I get it. So Terry asked her, well, what are you gonna do now to take care of these kids besides use my money? You just gonna he even said, oh, so you just gonna stay at home? That's how good she got it, clearly.
She does.
So LaWanda said, well, my uncle,
he has more than one home. He could keep it there. Remember, you bought somebody else a whole home.
Well, he can't trust it with Marquisha.
Definitely not.
But you bought her a home, though.
That's when he was wide open. His nose was wide open. That's why he bought her a home.
Nothing to do with listen, him having his nose wide open and keep it open. Okay, don't close it when you want to come over here. Keep it open.
Well,
okay.
Look, she passionate, don't she? Passionate. So basically, she lets him know that her uncle pulled some strings and he got her a job at City Hall. And to DeMarcus's point, I thought the same thing. I feel like we're gonna end up seeing her working with Kiki. I think Kiki gonna spin the block at least one more time because we never saw her again after she gave the information for Isaac. So I feel like for some reason we are gonna see that. DeMarcus said he's Team Terry Nels. He just wanted to let you know that he's
team everybody.
Everybody against you, right?
Right. Yeah, they like to tussle. They have like a sibling rivalry. I
don't be waiting on Cortland to come, right? Cortland.
Right. Now you just need Cortland to come through and he really be tussling.
Cortland brought up something from BMF while we was in the Shine.
Oh, really?
Did he say something about Charles or somebody?
Was he talking about Shy? Because every time I'm in the chat, I get confused as hell when y'all start talking about Charles because I do be thinking y'all talk about BMF, and I have to remember I'm not watching the BMF recap.
I said something about you bringing up BMF. No, Cortland, no, Cortland was really trying to tussle.
Oh, okay. So basically, he says that, she was the only one that basically had his back and feels like, she's so loyal. And so LaWanda said, look, if you expecting the panties to drop, that is not happening. And so he said, no, that's not my intentions. I just want you to know that I appreciate you remaining loyal, okay? And he said,
if he
most people,
yeah, they would have dropped.
I can't. So he said, most people think hustling is a career, but it's not. And he thinks that, Meech thinks he's the Black Pablo Escobar, which he absolutely does. And so he done been to Mexico for a couple months running through the woods. And now he really do think that, So he wants to try to basically make it out of the game. He wants to make as much money as he can, clean it so he can get out later on. And Lawanda tells him that, look, I just want you to be safe so your kids can know who you are and you could watch them grow. And I thought this was so sad because this was the 90s and they went to jail 2000s, right? Like 2007, 2006. So I'm like, hopefully he got to see his kids grow before he got locked up.
You would. You would.
Oh, I actually like Lawanda. Oh, and don't you dare Libra rivalry. Are you saying that must be a Virgo Libra thing? Because she is definitely not a Libra, and she will let you know. She will let you know. Okay.
Cusp of. I'm not a Libra.
You're in the cusp, yeah.
Yeah, she's a cusp. So basically, then he pulls out a duffel bag of money and say, "Hold this for me." And she's like, "Hell no!" Nah. And she was like, "I won't do it for you, but I'll do it for us and the family." And I said, "Oh, look at that! Look at that! Working together. It's better together."
So quickly they forget.
She saw that money and she lost her mind.
I was gonna say, I think
money. I feel like she already I don't think like she's tripping off of getting money. Like, I think she already gets money. Like, I don't think that's what she's tripping off of. Like, she is just up his ass and like, ew, like for what? Like, this dude really like shitted on you for real, like over some shit.
He did.
And taking care of some
you kids. Can't help what the heart wants, Nels.
What about your brain?
Is she still on some like?
Does the brain just turn off? I don't understand. Do we just turn off the brain completely and just say F the brain? Only my heart.
She want Terry to still pick her? Is she still a pick me at this point?
Absolutely.
Now that I was gonna say that would be a great. Unfortunately, I did start off saying Lawanda gives pick me. Yes.
So that aggravates me.
Yeah, that is a very accurate. Good job, AK. Good job. Okay.
I'll get a siren for that.
Yes. You get a siren. You get a siren.
All right. So Meech is showing Loco the new spot in St. Louis. Loco told him that they can't have no more hiccups. The cartel wants the money for the move and the people who got taken out at the airport. So Loco was like, where's Pusha? And he said that they're gonna meet him, that he's gonna meet him later. And Loco was trying to go, but Meech was like, nah, I ain't trying to have you exposed like that. So I don't know who I don't remember the homeboy's name, but the homeboy told him, basically, since this comes at a cost of Loco, he's going, basically.
Yeah.
And Loco said, that
I didn't get the homeboy's name either.
It's homeboy.
You didn't get the homeboy's name?
No, I never get his name. He just on the side.
He's never really there. He's not.
Marcus. Where's our virtual co-host? DeMarcus.
Find out why.
I was gonna say DeMarcus know his name.
It's Gustavo,
Right. He gonna know.
Well, right now it's homeboy, okay. And Loco said he just gonna sit there, listen and watch. And you know what? I can appreciate about Loco. Like literally, he really just sat there, listened and watched. Like dead ass. Like dude was like, oh, he ain't say nothing all night because he was doing what he said he was gonna do.
Only thing he said was Dimitri. That's all he said.
Dimitri. And still, that was even after Meech answered.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, Javier.
There it is.
Homeboy.
Thank you, DeMarcus.
Javier, the homeboy.
IMDb is your friend. Okay.
Oh, is that what he be using? IMDb.
That's what I use. I'm just saying. I use that. IMDb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It'll like break down the synopsis and stuff for you
and show the characters.
So Charles is at the restaurant again, flirting with this damn lady. Now it's in front of his daughter. And she called his ass out and was like, dude, you don't gotta hide. Okay. I just want you happy. Then she told the chick not to break his heart. Like he's not
Cecilia.
Okay.
You don't like her either.
I thought, man, and when I thought you were doing it like as disrespect at first, but then I was like, I hope she know her name's Cecilia.
Yeah, I know he called her Cece.
Okay, you just don't give a damn about her name.
No.
She don't like Charles or the situation or
Damn,
anybody
she don't
involved in
give
the
a damn.
situation.
We just being disrespectful.
Or
Look, how
any
you
part-
gonna be disrespectful to mad at the other woman? How you gonna be mad at the other woman? It's Charles.
She's supposed to be working. She's supposed to be working. Okay, why are you all in the owner's daddy's business? Like, like,
She
girl,
got it like
Look,
that.
look, where is blatant truth? Where is our HR director when we need her?
Fire her immediately. Okay.
Well, I'm mad at Charles because he is, that's like low hanging fruit. Like you go into your son's job.
Oh, he's been doing
yeah.
low hanging fruit. Hello.
Yeah.
Paint the wall.
I don't like
down
that.
The street. That was low hanging fruit too.
There's plenty of girls and women in Detroit. You don't got to be at your son's job.
Okay, at this point, he's picking them up off the ground. Okay, it's not low hanging fruit. They are on the ground rotten. Okay,
wow.
Not rotten. Right.
So yeah, on it, boy.
She was like, she told this chick not to break her daddy's heart. Like I said, like he ain't the one that's a cheater. So he let her know that he made a reservation at a very nice restaurant, Trippin, for 7:30, and he's gonna pick her up. But you ain't got no money to pay no bills.
You took the words out of my mouth. I literally, that's why I was raising my hand. I was like, hold up. So you got money to take this out, but you ain't got money to help Lucille, who's now applying for welfare.
But she got a benevolent fund.
She's supposed to be happy for you. Happy for you because you're going back on tour in 2 whole months. But 2 whole months without no help. Boy, bye.
She got a benevolent fund at the church. She'll be out.
Yeah, but she gave it to B. Mickey.
Yeah.
I mean, that was for the certain. Now B. Mickey need to get that back. So then Nikki went over to Worm to get his order and asked him, "What can I get for you?" And he said, "I'm looking right at it." I said, "What?"
Can I just say that I would never mess with a named Worm? I don't know. I mean, he was a very attractive brother, but I said, can we give him a better? But Worm was cute, but his name isn't.
You know what she need to do? She need to be like Maria and find out what his real name is. His government.
Right.
Okay. Right. Look, so maybe it's Walter or something. Maybe it's and call him that.
I agree.
But she was like, "No, boo, I'm taking." Maybe or not. She is a flannery.
That part.
Damn.
So he let her know that he works for T. Say what happened? What?
No, he did the.
I did the for that statement.
But he let her know that he works for T. And basically he asked her to take her home after work since she don't have a car. And she tried to fight him on it. And he was like, "Listen, it's the boss's orders." And she was like, "Well, that ain't my boss." And I was like, "Well, ain't it technically?" Because working in the restaurant. I mean, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. So he basically begged her and was like, "I fell out with your brother because I broke the dress code. So please don't give me a hard time." And he told her, "Listen, I'll be here if I pick your grown ass up." I said, "Oh, why you had to say that though? Why you had to point out that she grown? Because you don't want to feel like you." Yeah,
I was gonna say because he had to point out that she grown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she said she was grown too. She said, "I'm a grown."
Did
woman.
she say that?
Yeah, she did say she grown.
Woman, I don't need her.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So that's why he said that.
Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's
she definitely showed what she said. "I know how to suck and blow." I said, "Nicole."
I thought you was holding on to that one. When she said that, I was like,
"Whoa, Chris, my God!" Chris, and they talking about "let me show you."
When I tell you, I thought that scene was gonna go totally different.
I thought you only did this one.
I did too.
Right.
She pulled him back, and I thought she's gonna go.
Right.
Yes.
By the second time, it still hurt, girl. You sound like you've been in this. You've been doing this.
Fast flinnery. Fast
flinneries. Hey. Okay, let me see these comments real quick. Avery could retaliate on Charles, and Charles not. And that causes him not to go on tour with the Campbell brothers. Oh, Nels, sorry. If that happens,
he need to find his own place. That's what it is. I mean, if you got money to trick, you got money to put a roof over your head. Like,
you gonna live with Cece?
Who gives a damn?
Honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. When he came in the room like he did in that scene and he was talking shit there, I thought he was about to be like, "Bitch, I'm moving out, so you ain't got to worry about how long I'm gonna be here."
He's scared now. I don't think Cece want nothing to do with him. When she begged him to stop, please, 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 and then saw her ex's face, she looked like she was like scared of Charles.
She looked like she was scared, but I'm gonna wait till we get there because my whole thing is I feel like that was odd. I feel like Cece might still be in a relationship. If you ask me, I think Cece's still married and it's not done. Now he really could be a crazy mofo that can't let go, but it gives me the vibes that she's not all the way done with that marriage. Just my thoughts. Yeah, so we see T.
So it sounds like karma.
That's what it's not. Literally, that's what I thought. I said, look at karma spinning the block.
What you're saying. That's what I'm hearing.
So we see T and Meech, they in St. Louis, and T is just complaining about the twang and the right there and over there, and you know what I mean? It's really bothering him. And speaking of that, vacay, I wanted to ask you, where are you from?
New York.
New York. Okay. I don't know why I felt like I noticed a twang. I accent from somewhere, but I didn't pick up New York. I don't know if I thought it was like a Chicago. I knew it was up north. I didn't know where.
I know.
Yeah, it's New York. Sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't.
No,
I was in corporate America for a while, so
I know. He told me he lived in Vegas. I said, "Yeah, you're not giving Vegas, though.
Nah,
you're not giving Vegas.
New York, all day, son."
So basically, Meech. So basically, Terry's like, "Okay, I'm ready for this meeting." And Meech is like, oh, well, unfortunately, I already met with Loco. And of course, Terry's upset because he's like, well, I wanted to have the conversation with y'all about me controlling the ish, okay? And he brings up how Jay Pusha's moving to work without following rank. And so Meech tells him, well, Jay Pusha took care of his business, and now Loco wants to meet him as well, and there's nothing we can do about it. And so Terry accuses him of dick riding Loco and suggests having their own soldiers out there to handle things. And I love when Meech was like, so why don't you move down here then?
Right.
So
I like how you do that right there.
Right.
I said, well, he
has points. And so he's like, nah, man, Detroit's my home. And so Meech reminds him that Pusha has already proven his loyalty.
Yeah.
And at least in the Lou, he ain't got to worry about Brian and the Red Dogs, breathing down his neck. So he wants to move the office out there so they could chill and focus on launching this music label. And I wonder if this is really how they went through this. Like they were selling drugs and just woke up one day and said, let's do a label. And thought it would just be that easy. I don't know. Just their thought process.
Purdy was the motivation. I really think that's what it was. Like, yo, let's do this.
Didn't they have that one artist before they left Atlanta, but he got unalived?
Yeah, that too. Yeah. But they wasn't thinking about a label then. They were just like, yo, we just gonna push him whatever way.
Right. Okay.
He was talented. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So T, he's like, yeah, I'm still with it. And Meech tells him, for the music thing to work, they're going to have to lean on Pusha. So they need, both of y'all need to get y'all little panties out of a bunch or whatever and get along. And so he said, but I think we could seal the deal with Purdy if we take her to the Source Awards, and said that Tina had came through with the tickets. And I ain't even going to hold you. I forgot who Tina was until they show her face again later on. I was like, I know that name, but what does Tina look like? So T, is she graduated college by now? She's still around?
I'm sure. Yeah, she's in the industry now.
Right. So T's, you're right. She's working. Okay, you're right. So T's confused because he's like, well, that's a hip hop award show. And Meech lets him know, well, we're rebranding her into a rapper. And T was like, nah, get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. And so Meech is like, nah, man, we too close to signing her. And we feel like, once she's locked in, everybody else is going to follow. Did they ever have any other artists on this label?
Blue Da Vinci. That's the rapper guy, and I think he was working with Jeezy too.
Oh,
Jeezy.
Oh, well, I ain't gonna say what I heard. I heard he was working with a lot. He was in a lot more people's fab, allegedly.
Yeah,
it was a lot of people that he backed. He supported is what I was told.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I heard that too.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on this scene, y'all?
Terry is right. She ain't no daggone rapper because she ain't spit no hot fire yet. So come on. Meech is a bad A&R. He just looking at her.
Right.
She could do it. You ain't even hear her, bro. Cut the cap, bro. You're bugging.
I can hear her. She be like blinkety blink, trying to make me think, make me want to go to my sink and bomb it. Wipe it up with some comment. The earth is my planet.
That is my movie.
All right. Hold on. I wish B. Mickey would have picked up Nicole instead of Worm. I agree. I thought that was a weird thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though I know he works for Terry, so he's scared of Terry in a way.
I think because he don't really trust B. Mickey.
Yeah.
So if he gets, just like he had to do now, if he gets B. Mickey, he got to get somebody else. He got 2 people on the job. So I think because he don't trust B. Mickey.
Right.
Not nasty, Nicole DeMarcus. She's not nasty. She just grown.
Worm is closer to her age too, because Worm is in college, right? So.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Charles could move.
Yeah.
Charles is supposed to be moving to Atlanta with Meech. I do believe that that's going to happen in real life. Rip was actually their first artist. Okay, so you are saying he was their art, but that's again, DeMarcus. I think that he supported a lot of people. Let's just say that he supported a lot of people, but actually having people signed to him, I think we had won. And I may correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tina is Monique's cousin. Yes, I remember that when I saw her face, and I was like, she still trusts them after everything that happened with Lamar and all of the foolishness. I would be far away from each, but it is what it is. So let's get into Markeisha's line ass.
So Markeisha went to go see Boom, and let him know that she met up with Isaac, but something wasn't feeling right. So she got out of there before things went left. And, she said that she feels like he could have been caught up in a sting. And asked him if he heard anything. So he's worried about disconnecting him back to this dude. And he's like, listen, I don't want no more time added to my sentence. So she told him she wasn't trying to get him upset, but they got to be honest with each other. And said that he needs to ride for the people that needs him just as much as as you need them, right? So I'm like, ain't that the same thing she said to Terry?
She's a wordsmith. I literally, when you were saying it, I was like, she's a wordsmith.
She just recycling the game. Okay. I was like, all right. So
one thing I can agree, she's a crafty bitch. She's crafty.
Yes, she is. So she's like, you got me, right? He's like, yeah, I got you. So she asked him to think of any other contacts to keep them afloat for now. And he was like, listen, we got to wait for this Isaac thing to get put to bed first. And then he'll think of something. So, then they kind of moved on. She was like, I'm going to find other ways to make paper. And then they started catching up on the kids. And as I figured, it was B. Mickey and Hoop that was following her. That's who he got put on the case. They saw Markeisha coming out the prison. B. Mickey basically said any good piece of pussy will have a man's head messed up. And Hoop told him, Kato had been put down, and told him that he held it down for the family. And B. Mickey was like, what's messed up though is right after I did that, I found out she was pregnant with my seed. He said that he felt like Aisha and V is his second shot. Yeah, back then, boy, that whole Kato thing, that was rough.
Yeah,
that was rough. Was when they reminded us, I said, damn, I forgot he had that whole girl. But I appreciate the trip down memory lane because I was like, damn.
And it was dope. It was dope for Hoop to even think of that in that moment. Like, it was like, he's like, yeah, girl can have your head messed up. And he's like, yeah, homie, don't think I forgot what you did for us. You know what I'm saying? Right. Girl that you really messed with. I thought it was dope.
Yeah. So I don't know about y'all, and I think this is called waterboarding that's happening right now. But Trell,
when they do the rag or something over the towel over your face.
Yeah, they put the towel on your face and then they pour the water over. That's waterboarding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Trell is drowning this man in his kitchen sink. Okay.
Right.
Let's just call a thing a thing. And but because apparently he's upset because he wasn't playing his songs on on his station, and so Purdy shows up and not really surprised that Trell is doing this because it's just what he do. And he said, I've been thinking about the conversation that we was having about rebranding you, and I can do it. I want to do it. So she's like, oh my God, so you're gonna let me rock? And he said, fuck no.
He said, hell no.
He said, I'm gonna put you in a girl group with these two cokehead fuckers over here, Destiny and Shamika, who are butt naked in the living room doing lines. Okay, white lines. Okay, that's what they was doing. And
going through my
yeah.
You went back with that one.
Look, so Purdy's like, but I'm a solo artist. And he said, well, you're not no more. And he said, it's the 90s and everyone wants girl groups. And I ain't even gonna hold you. I was like, homeboy had a point. Homeboy had a point. Back then, you had SWV, TLC, Escape, like everybody. It was girl grouped out. Literally, when you think about it, you could probably name more girl groups from the 90s to the 2000s than like you think about solo artists. Like
In Vogue, Jade, all of them. Yeah.
Right. And even into the 2000s, because well, I think they started to get more into boy bands in the 2000s. That's when you had your B2K. I'm showing my age, but that's when you had your B2K and things like that. But
boy bands before that, and Backstreet Boys and New Kids on the Block and Boys to Men.
But they came out 2000s too.
Well, they was still around. Yeah.
I feel like they came out 2000s. I don't think they were in the 90s.
They came out before that.
Oh, don't get me lying. I look at that point, I would have thought they were still on the Mickey Mouse Club trying to get a job. Okay. So she's like, well, I have a top 10 hit. And he was like, do you know who I am? That's because of me. Okay. Let me remind you.
I thought he was about to put hands on her.
Yeah. I thought so too. So he kind of yokes her up and he was like, so who are you talking to? And Trell lets her know that, daddy made her, not the other way around. I said, not daddy.
Right.
I said, ooh. And so Purdy apologizes. And so he was like, remember, you ain't without me. And then, of course, she does what she does best. And she goes take a bump and, or ask him for a bump rather. And he's like, of course, I got you. And I said, oh, that's what this is. And so what I figured out is Purdy, in my opinion, is going to turn on Meech because, well, I don't know, because Meech got drugs too. So I don't know, but I don't think he would willingly give them to her. Like, I don't think he would want her doing them.
Nah, he don't want her to do it. Yeah. But this guy Trell, though, I mean, I see your comment, DeMarcus, but yeah, he does remind me. This situation reminds me of a Cassie Diddy situation.
Yes. I thought I was the only one.
That's all I saw.
That was thinking it. Yes, it absolutely did.
Yeah.
Boom set Markeisha and Terry up. Oh, Boom and
Markeisha. Same thing. I thought the same thing when she came to him and told him about Isaac. I was like, remember, that's who even gave you the info. But then he was acting so he didn't know nothing about it. So I was like, I don't know. I guess
he kind of waved it off, like, okay, well, let's let it die down. Like, that's a good point, DeMarcus.
Trell is giving up. Okay.
Yeah.
Purdy, Destiny, and Shamika could have been the next total. Bye, DeMarcus. Bye. Bye.
No.
So I'm gonna ask you, DeMarcus, which one is Pam then? Which one is Kima? Which one is Keisha? And which one is Pam?
And why you have to say Total? I love Total.
But that wasn't it.
Right. They ain't it. No.
He is a mess. So Marcus is a mess.
Okay, I will say I was a big immature. Yes, I was a big immature fan.
I think he's going with the Diddy thing. That's why he mentioned Total.
Oh, okay. I wonder if Maria knows that Purdy is playing with her nose. Is that her name? Thank you so much, DeMarcus, because my nose say the makeup artist. Thank you so much.
Maria, yeah.
I was for some reason I thought it was Mia. Don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me.
Oh, okay.
I knew it started with an M. At least I was close. So Meech and Terry, they down at Jay Push's when he introduces him to Carter. I forgot all about poor little Carter. Remember Carter?
I didn't forget about Carter.
So yeah, he had his hand messed up. What happened again? Remind me.
Remember they kidnapped him to get money from Pusha.
So what did they do to his hand? I know they kidnapped him. I just didn't remember what they like.
They cut it off and sent it to Jay Push, remember? So now he can't pitch anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. So this leads into Meech asking him if he's still playing baseball, and he says he couldn't because every time he went to pitch, people thought he was throwing up gang signs. Okay. And so he said Jay Pusha won't let him in the game and won't let him in the game. So now he just has to do little small jobs from him, walk around and clean his toilet and move stuff around the house and whatever. You know
he's on attitude when he said that.
Okay. So Terry comes in and says that he okay, hold on. So Terry comes in and tells Jay Pusha, look, I know we got off to a bad start, but I'm trying to start over. And Jay Pusha said, look, I promise not to make any more, moves behind y'all back. I was just doing what I know, and letting the work sit there causes more problems. And so he lets him know, look, it won't happen again over her. All right. And so Meech tells him,
accent,
right. So Meech tells him the call he made with that work saved their butts, but he makes it clear that it's a one-time thing and don't you let it happen again. All right. And so Jay Pusha says, look, square biz dirty. And I said, I had to ask my boo, I said, what does that mean? I said, I know the song Square Biz, but like in relative to a conversation, I've never talked to someone and been like Square Biz. And then it was funny because my boo was like, okay, like, yeah. And I was like
confirmation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's where it comes from, I guess.
We learned something new today. Thank you, BMF. Okay.
I like the song though.
Well, I do love the song. I'm talking Square Biz to you, baby. Square Biz. Yes.
Hey.
So yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I get distracted when my jukebox cut on. So Jay Pusha says that he wants to make some more money. So Meech lets him know that he and T plan to slide through with Loco a little bit later on. And T asks Carter, well, besides video games, what else do y'all do out here? And so he's like, oh, we gamble, my brother. And so then the next scene, we see them on a casino boat talking business. And Terry tells them that the plan is to have a half a ton in every state. And so Jay Pusha's boy, Sean, said he can open up the pipeline from Texas to New York. I did. I was proud of myself.
Be proud of yourself. Good job.
Yes.
Good job.
And so Loco, Unc, is saying that, I'm from Detroit, just like y'all. And so, no, I'm sorry.
I was about to say, he ain't say that.
He ain't say nothing. You're right. I'm sorry. So Loco is listening to the conversation and Pusha's like, well, where's this man from? Where's Unc from? You know what I'm saying? Because clearly he don't look like your real uncle. I know you got a little bit of curl to your hair, Meech, but that is not your uncle. And so he was like, nah, he's from Detroit like us. So Pusha mentions how, he ain't said a word since he really has not said nothing. And so then he asked Loco, well, who's your favorite nephew? And he's Dimitri. And so Pusha mentions I'm sorry. And so, of course, this pisses Terry off and he walks off and then he see Carter who's losing money and he getting all upset and, he clearly can't handle the pressure. And so T tells him, look, it's the flick of the wrist. It's the flick of the wrist, my brother, and offers to show him. Right. And so then some brother, and I'm not trying to offend nobody, some brother walks in looking like he's from the nation trolling Carter.
I think he said his name was Randy.
I said it's the brother. My notes said
some chic
no,
nation.
In the car, he said his name, and I think he said his name was Randy. I have it.
Yeah, I got it later on, but in this, I say the brother that looks like he's from the nation. But anyway, so Carter tells him that whatever beef he has with Pusha ain't got nothing to do with him, and so they exchange insults, and then Terry calms it down and advises Carter, look, you gotta hit him where it hurt, in they pockets, my dude. And so then they start rolling, and I wish I had the flick of the wrist. I wish I had the flick of the wrist.
Look at the wrist.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me address DeMarcus because I know he going off in the comments. Carter played Muhammad Ali in Godfather of Harlem. Oh, okay. That's an interesting fact. Southwest T all day. You do love you some tea. Great job with the side character, Sean, Jay Push's right-hand man. Yes. Thank you.
Rudy.
Thank you, Rudy. Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks, DeMarcus. Go ahead, Pookie. Oh, I'm sorry. You got Charles. I apologize. I would have done that had I known that was up next.
All right. So Charles and Cece, they out on a date. I don't know if this is before or after, or this was really the date. They literally just walk in the street, like in the middle of the night. I mean, sweating, hot. I don't know what's going on. And this is his idea of a date. Okay. But, they're talking about love loss, and she's talking about how she had her heart broken. He ain't talking about how he broke hearts. I mean, it would give, it would give, check please, I need an Uber, something. Let me get the hell out of here because he's a nasty ass. But he ain't exposed himself. But she did mention her ex, that was following her or used to follow her. Just pops up out of nowhere.
Avery.
Yes, Avery. Please take her somewhere. And Charles, I gotta give it to him. I gotta give him his things.
She don't want to though. She don't want to, y'all.
I really don't. But he whooped the mess.
He said, "Whoop." I got to turn my head around for this.
What? What? You gonna give Charles some props? What?
Right.
What?
I didn't want to see it. I would have loved it if it was the other way around, but that's not what happened. Charles did whoop this dude's ass. Okay.
Yes.
And really, I think it scared the hell out of CC. She looked like she's about to cry and maybe fight Charles for the dude. Like that, it was given, that's my baby daddy, and I'll never let him go.
Okay. So we said we was going to get deeper into that. But first of all, I wanted to say, Mills, you can't fault Charles for hitting her with the Jill Scott and said, let's take a long walk around the park after dark.
If he said, I made us a reservation at a nice restaurant. That's why I said, I don't know if this is before or after.
But he said, let's take a long walk. I said, go
yeah.
You gotta walk. He trying to walk into the pussy.
And he don't need to bring up the past unless it's asked about.
You said what?
He don't need to bring up the past unless it's asked about.
Okay.
They were asking about it.
But she was talking about her past.
They were talking about their past, and he just let her talk.
Yeah, exactly.
But
good job, Charles.
I can't. I do
run that game, son.
Y'all
talk. See, we listening. He's doing a good job. He's listening to the lady.
That part. Yeah.
He's a better man now.
No, I'm gonna ask. So what happened with your last relationship? Why the hell y'all got divorced?
Why we gotta bring up the past? You know, I'm down with the Campbell brothers. Right. I'm on the road. That's all you need to know. I'm a superstar.
Nigga, you are okay.
Look, not a superstar with no money. No, vacation. That's not what we are.
I'm on my way. Okay.
Okay.
Praise God.
He's up and coming. He's up and coming.
Praise the Campbell brothers and God for this opportunity.
Right.
But in between jobs. He's in between jobs right now.
Yeah. But I do think that
you a cheater. Ding ding ding.
I can't. I do think that old girl is playing in our face, in my opinion. And playing in Charles's face. I absolutely think that she still has ties to Avery.
Yeah, you said that earlier, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's over. And I think she wanted to dip her toe in the water just like Charles did with Mabel. He wanted to, she said, come on over and paint these walls while my husband's at work. That's what I think.
And she's trying to get some.
You know the way she was looking at Charles. Oh, and they just said, where is the love? You know what I'm saying? They were
singing back and forth.
Like it's a Disney movie or something.
They said we're gonna do what, bitch?
Gonna do a musical.
What is this? Who does that?
Musical. That's funny.
Okay, so then we see Worm taking Nikki home. He told her that he heard that she got a scholarship to Morris Brown. She was like, Ann did. Period. And he told her that he goes to Wayne State. She was like, oh, I never would have guessed that. And he was like, why? You think just because I'm selling? You think I ain't nothing? I ain't about nothing? And then, he was just joking because I was like, I mean, yeah, that's what she think. And, he said that he works for T so he can pay for his tuition and take care of his family. He's majoring in history. They had like a little moment, over Malcolm X's history. He told her that, Hudson was never part of his plan, but his dad passed away, so he had to step up. And he said that, he's just hustling so he can get out and make his daddy proud.
I thought that was good. I said, okay, Worm. Can we still get another name? But I appreciate it, Worm. But for some reason, I felt like, is Worm gonna make it?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. I don't know why. I felt like when they introduced him, and just because Nicole likes him, and just unfortunately, this has been the whole story of Nicole's life since Lamar has entered the chat. And she can't never be happy. And we know Lamar is still lurking somewhere. He absolutely knows Nicole. You know what I mean? Like, so for some reason, when I saw that, I said, this ain't gonna last. This is not gonna last. And they gonna get him up out of here.
Well, it's either gonna be Lamar or Terry after Terry found out what Little Worm turned Big Worm did.
Not Little Worm turned Big Worm. All right. So then back at the casino, Rudy is still antagonizing. Rudy, thank you. I told you I had to name the second time. So he's still antagonizing Carter and tells him to, look, take the money he just won and get his finger fixed. And I said, well, that's rude. He's sensitive about that. So Loco asked, well, look, where's the bathroom man? And I wondered why that was. I thought Loco was gonna roll up on Rudy, but Loco didn't really do that. So
Loco said, I am here to listen,
okay,
and watch. Okay. And he said what he said he was gonna do.
Right, and sip my free drinks. So Pusha is like, oh, are you cool with us discussing business while Loco's around? And Meech was like, yeah, he good. And tells him, look, I'm sorry about Carter, not being able to play. And Pusha lets him know that his brother resents him for it. And Meech feels like, well, I can relate because, when T followed me into the game and then he got popped and, I felt bad. And so he advises Pusha, look, we can't protect our little brothers from everything, including themselves. And so he's like, well, how long you in town, man? And Meech said, look, I'm about to hop a plane in the morning, go back to Atlanta before I go to New York. And so Pusha was like, well, what's there? And he was like, the Source Awards. And so he tells him how, yeah, we starting our own label. And then Carter starts spazzing out on the for the brother from the nation, Randy. Okay. And Jay Pusha tries to get him to calm down. And Carter says, look, I'm tired of getting wrapped up in my brother's shit. Okay. And so Pusha tells him that Rudy is about to get bucked on and Carter needs to stop drawing attention. So does that mean that they about to handle Rudy? That was my understanding?
Sound like it.
By getting bucked on. So Carter tells Pusha, F him, and basically Terry gets him out of there. And so in the car, Terry's trying to calm him down, and Carter lets him know that, look, I'm really not, I'm mad at Rudy, but I ain't really mad at him. Really, it's misdirected anger because, I got to dip into my therapy bag. Really, I'm projecting because I'm really upset with, Pusha, and, he ruined my whole life and career. And Carter tells him that Rudy's hassling him because Pusha has beef with the Moors. And so T wants to, hear more about this. And so Carter tells him, well, they're Muslims who don't fuck around. Okay. And probably hate Pusha more than he does. And so Terry realized, damn, so Pusha out here pissing everybody off. And so Carter tells him Pusha is the reason I'm in this situation. And so Terry says, look, life can be unfair sometimes, my brother. Okay. He said, he shares his story about how he got pow and shows him how his eyes still jacked up and he still gets made fun of every single day. And he tells Carter, I wonder what would have happened if I never got in the car with Meech that day. And so Carter thinks, well, Meech is the man and I'd be 6 feet otherwise if, he won't there. And so Terry warns him, look, you don't know Meech like I do, brother. You don't know Meech like I do. Okay.
You a hater, Terry. You such a hater.
You think so?
Yeah, man. He don't like being in the shadows. He been feeling some type of way, man.
DeMarcus, stop. Stop. Breeze is at that college tearing them girls down. Get out of here.
He hung up the phone.
Who cares?
Was distracted by some girls.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
Sir?
It's a scene in the trailer, Terry putting someone face to the stove, and it could be Worm.
I could believe that.
Really? Just for messing with his sister?
Well, we know what happened at the end, man.
Oh. Well, I mean, even if she didn't, just for messing with his sister. I gave you a job to do. It wasn't my sister.
You smoking with my sister, letting her, puff and, what's he say, pull and suck and...
Suck and blow, like, suck and blow.
You ain't supposed to do that, Worm. You're supposed to just take her home. That's it, bro.
Right. I think that Terry would use Rudy to take Jay Pusha. Oh, okay. That, you know what? To your point, DeMarcus, I can see that because I definitely saw Terry's wheels turning as he was hearing everything.
Absolutely. Even at the end when Carter fell asleep, it looked like he wanted some more. He wanted some more information. So then we see LaWanda. She's over doing Nikki's hair.
She got better. She got better.
Yes, she did. It came out cute this time. Okay, she dropped out, but apparently she learned something before she did. Nikki told her that she wants something new. And LaWanda was like, something new or someone new? She was like, what's up with you twinneries? Y'all just can't stay faithful? I just thought it was weird that she even said someone new. Like, girl, she's talking about her hairstyle. What made you even say that? But whatever.
Because you know how when you feeling yourself and you need fresh to, you got somebody new that's enticing
I'm
you.
gonna automatically think that you're ready to go cheat because you got your hair done.
And she
Well,
young
she knows what family she's from.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you still lusting over them. So Nikki said Breeze is cool and all, but this other guy, I just like his vibe. We just vibe. And then she told him that it was Worm who works for Terry. LaWanda looked like she almost had a heart attack. She said, "What? Girl, no, that is too close to home. You can't be doing that." And she said, "Well, Terry got him driving me home. We on some bodyguard mess like I'm Whitney." I said, "No, she did not." And she had the hairstyle.
Right.
No, she did not. LaWanda told her, "Girl, this ain't no movie. Okay. You're gonna get somebody taken out." And Nikki told her, "Listen, I ain't married. I'm gonna do what I want to do." I said, "Oh, okay." We see B Mickey, he got the money from Lucille. I'm not getting into what the letter said, but basically it was a lot of money, but it wasn't enough.
Not enough. Sorry.
Enough. He need to give it back because he got money now. Brian went to go see Hardy.
I agree. I think he should give it back too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Especially when she told you she don't even know if she's gonna be able to give it to you, and clearly she had to scrape that together to give it to you.
Right.
So Brian went to go see Hardy and let him know that they got a lead, that he got a lead. He's going to be going to Platinum Palace and can use some backup. And homie said, yep, no can do. Okay. They're working foot beats for the Olympics. And basically, yeah, he was like, I can't do it. I did think it was cute when Hardy was eating a Pop-Tart and Brian asked him if he puts peanut butter on it. He was like, "No, dude, that's nasty." But it was cute. It was because his son used to do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna hold you. I thought he was eating a peanut butter and I thought he was just eating bread and jelly. And I thought that's why he asked him why he didn't have no peanut butter on it, because who just eats a jelly sandwich?
No, it was a Pop-Tart.
Oh, okay. Look, Nels with the clarification. I know. Good job, Nels. Great detective work. So DeMarcus said Worm and Spider are LaWanda's cousins. Okay. I don't know who Spider is, but thank you. Lucille actually pushed Terry into Marquisha's arms.
So it is super close to home. So how he gonna burn his face if that's LaWanda's cousin?
That part. That part.
And I got your money at the crib, homie. You best relax.
Look, I would say I'd burn the money, but that's a lie. I'd burn through the money.
I was gonna say burn it at the store.
You burning no money. You gonna go shopping, girl.
Right. Lucille actually pushed Terry into Marquisha's arms when Lucille gave LaWanda the idea to leave for Pennsylvania with Terry Jr. I don't think so. I think Terry was he it was the older woman thing. She gave him some good grown woman cat, and Terry didn't know, right? And Terry didn't know what to do with that. He didn't know what to do with that. Okay.
Just eat
So then we see Hoop. I'm sorry. So we see Hoop and B Mickey. They watching Marquisha when they spot her on a date with a cop. DeMarcus, this is where I need you. I don't remember his name, but I remember seeing him.
Light-skinned dude from Sisters.
Oh, see, I don't watch Sisters.
I remember his name.
So basically, Marquisha is trying to get I thanks him because he, I guess, gave her some information on Isaac Roberts, but they never really tell us what that information.
Well, no. I think he's going to look into it. I don't think he had it. I think they just talked about him looking into it.
Oh, and I guess that's when she said that's when I'll make my pussy payments, when you actually give the information, because it definitely was giving pussy. It was giving a firm with coochie. That's what it was giving. Mm-hmm. And she's gonna have to make some arrangements, okay? Mm-hmm. So Hoop is like, oh, T gonna lose it, but Mickey tells him, now he had questions, and now they about to give him answers that he's not gonna like. And I said, well, but I feel like he in denial too, and all he gonna do is have to go over there, and she's like, Terry. No, Vince is the name of the cop. Thank you, DeMarcus. So Purdy comes to the studio, and Meech lets her know that he got the whole Tina there. They got wardrobe, makeup, and he's like, look, it's all for you, boo. Okay, we about to get you fitted for the Source Awards, and so she's so happy, and she's like, "F Trail, I'm finding with y'all." And I said,
"No, listen. Back in the day, I might have talked to Meech.
Who?
Meech?
Yeah, Big Meech.
Yes, because
he was the man.
I don't know.
You know how he looks in real life. He don't look like Lil Meech.
Oh.
Oh.
I need you to go look up what he really looked like.
Well, it looks like now back in the day.
Back in the day.
For real, he's ugly back in the day.
He didn't look like his son.
Oh.
Yeah, he don't look like Lil Meech at all.
Little Meech definitely got his mother's looks. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. So yeah, so T gifts her with a chain to celebrate. I said, not them chaining her. Okay. So then Tina lets her know, look, we got a lot of work to do before the awards that night because you know this is done months in advance and we only got a few hours. All right. So Purdy's like, well, I need to figure out how I'm gonna get away from Trail, and Meech said Trail. And so Meech spots the Maria, thank you, VKJ, and lets her know that, look, I'm happy to see you again. Where you been, girl? And so she promises Meech that she gonna have Purdy ready for the show. And Duffy wants to like, yo, let's go back to the palace and celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it in. And so Meech reminds him that, nah, we got to go to the Source Awards, but you know, you can go celebrate for all of us. And I was like, yeah, that's really terrible because I would feel some type of way if I was Duffy, all y'all going to the Source Awards and now all I get to do is go to the strip club that we go to every other day. Okay.
And I'm the producer with the studio that you're going to use for your artists.
That
I'm going to give free studio time. Like, how you not going to include me in the Source Awards, bro?
Why he couldn't though? Because he was definitely trying to take Maria.
You know?
That right. That's the part that's effed up.
Great question.
It's not like he didn't have a ticket.
Get somebody else to do it.
He was trying to go. I thought he was trying to go to the strip club.
If, in my opinion,
because he said let's go celebrate and go to Palace, and Meech was like, no, we got to get ready for the Source Awards. To me, it gave he just wanted to go to the strip club. It didn't give that he wanted to go to the Source Awards. Y'all think he wanted to go?
Who wouldn't?
Apparently him.
He just wanted to party and tap on some ass, huh? That's what you're saying.
I don't remember.
You think for a second that there was not an after party after the Source Awards?
Yeah.
I don't remember him saying that he wanted to go. He said, let's go celebrate at Palace. And Meech was like, we got to get ready.
We all know if Diddy was there, there was a very different type of after party that was going on, allegedly after the Source Awards. I'm just saying. Absolutely. So DeMarcus said, yeah, she giving out coochie coupons. Yep, that's what it is. Markeisha will give Vince, she's gonna give him the coupon. Hey, Steven, I saw you roll in. How you doing, boo?
What up?
I honestly think Maria is Little Meech's mother in the show. I think so too, because at first I thought it was gonna be the real estate agent, but we ain't seen her since. And this girl is really pretty, so it has me thinking that's Meech's mama.
Maybe.
I definitely don't think it's not Lucky's child. I will hope that Lucky ain't his mama. Charles and Nicole both getting with Terry's employees, right? With the hired help. What is going on, y'all? Come on. Let's do better.
Bro.
You said bro.
We see Lucille looking at this pawn ticket after she done pawned off her ring.
Probably got maybe all of $200.
That's probably what he paid for it. So then Charles walks in and lets her know that he's going back on tour. But you know, she like he says it's in 2 months, so she look a little disappointed. He like, I'm guessing you wanted me to leave sooner. I never want you to come back. Why are you here?
Damn.
Okay. And she said she was trying to apply for welfare, but now she can't because his ass is here. He was like, oh, well, I thought you'd be happy for me. All you care about is getting free money. Yeah, I want you to pay my bills, sir. And clearly it's easy without you here, because with you here, it ain't helping.
You eating up the groceries, using my water.
But he got a job. You telling me he ain't contributing to the household? He got a job at GM. He's not contributing to the household.
It doesn't sound like it.
And if it is, it ain't enough, clearly.
And you remember he looked her dead in her face and said, "Oh, Nicole is grown now, so he ain't giving her nothing for the kids.
Ain't no more child support needed."
So he just, it sounds to me like she's allowing him.
Room and board. We found out her room and board got to be paid for.
Right. It sounds
But
like
she ain't discussing that with him, though.
How we know? Huh?
Because she would have mentioned it right there and was like, "Well, I need you out of the house and I need money from room and board for Nicole." She usually just kind of blurts that out all in one shot.
Listen, Charles Gibbs, he the type that only pay while he there. Like bills don't arise while he's gone on the road and still expects to come back home to a roof over his head with running water and heat.
I agree. I think that because first of all, I'm going to be honest with you. In the words of Deborah Cox, how did we get here? Okay? Because
how did you get here? Why are you here?
That part, because I'm gonna be honest, why is he even still in the house at this point? I don't even remember if Lucille let him back in or he just never left. Like he refused to leave, but I don't understand why he is not gone at that house. I knew he couldn't afford nowhere to live, but that's just not my problem. That's not my problem. I don't give a damn.
She might be letting him stay there because he doesn't have a place to live.
That's just not her problem.
It is if she gonna let him stay there.
Now I understand when they was dipping and dabbling and still sneaking into the other rooms and stuff like that. It was convenient to have her cuddy buddy across the hall. You know what I'm saying? But now we ain't even on that level. You moved on. You date, and now you dating other people in my house, mother.
Well,
Lucille, a better woman than me.
At least he told her.
That's what but he would have to tell her if he didn't live there.
That part.
Yeah, you right.
How about you stay in your little ducats that you taking these tricks out on dates with and get your place, or stay in a hotel. Stay in a hotel while you're here.
She's the
Marcus
pastor.
says,
That's the type of place that you only got to pay for while you there.
She's the pastor. It's benevolence for him. Okay.
Okay, DeMarcus, to respond to your comment, Lucille, the only therapy she needs is for Charles to get out. That it would fix all the problems. She don't need no therapy. She needs Charles to get out. That's what she needs. Steven said Meech is more blind than Terry. He can't even see that Jay Pusher wants Meech out of the way to take his spot. Absolutely. I agree with that, Steven. Very good point.
Yeah.
Meech said he was always 10 steps ahead of the game and Pusher's going to sign his life away for some bricks and get took up top. Oh, yeah. He going to the upper room. Mm-hmm. He's going up yonder. Jay Pusher's gone this season. I definitely see that. And I'm surprised he's still here. They still letting him leave, but we know it won't be long. It's coming. It's coming.
It won't be very long.
All right. And then we see Worm, who happens to be rolling a J. And Nicole asked for a hit. Okay.
Oh, God.
And he says, nah. And so she said, well, you know what? If you don't give me, you don't let me take a little puff give, friend, then, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell Terry you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. So he was like, man, nah, and she was like, look, I can suck and blow.
And then you know what? It looked like she caught herself oh, I didn't mean
I didn't mean to say that.
But then it was like, well, shit. But
right. Right. Thank you. It was funny. I was doing a recap for Beyond the Gates the other day, and I said something about it was supposed to be backdoored or front door to back door, but I said back door, and I was like, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant, y'all. But yeah, so then she offers to show him, and then he comments, she done got the lip gloss on the J, and he's like, but I could taste it, and ooh, tender kisses, and then he, he's like, I want to taste it again, and so then we see Nicole just get it in Terry's restaurant. I said, thank God it won't no Ring cameras and no shit like that back then, because of no CCTV footage, nothing.
Yeah, he just may not got it.
Look, she said it's going down. Okay. No, not darling Nikki. Oh,
God, darling Nikki, man. Oh my God. I was like, damn, you moving so fast, girl. Dang, you just turned 18. I know you was smashing Breeze in the car, but doggone it. In the restaurant? Oh man.
Yep. So then we see Lucky. She's dancing for Bryant over at Palace and really not paying no attention to her. He got his eyes out and he spots Duffy across the club. Yeah. So Lucky is like, look, I'm shaking his ass. I need to see some cash, okay? And so by the time he's able to get Lucky out of his face and look back up, Duffy done spotted him, and so now he gone. And so he tells Lucky, get the away from me. And I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I don't know how. I've only been to the strip club in Atlanta once. No, actually, did I go in Atlanta? I don't think I went in Atlanta because they wanted $40 to get in, and I felt like I'm cute. I'm not paying to get into a strip club. But in Miami, oh, that's absolutely the vibe. If you sit there too long and you ain't putting no cash on this stage, are you here for? Okay, and you damn sure ain't getting no dances if you ain't throwing no money. Ain't nobody coming over to you. But the DJ will call you out and be like, excuse me, if you're not throwing any money, why are you here? Why are you here?
Pay the strippers.
Right, okay.
I've heard that many times. Make sure you pay the strippers and the bartenders.
Right. And
I was just about to say, unless you sitting at the bar.
Right.
Well, here's my whole thing. This has always been my thing. You got to work. Now, you can't just be up there lollygagging and, because I'm cute. No, I need you to handstand, flip, twirl, gymnastics. Okay. Yeah. I want to see Dominique Dawes on that pole. Okay.
Yeah.
I need you to do it. Okay. Go ahead now.
All right. So Purdy was getting all cute and beautified. When Maria was done with her hair, Meech came to check in on him and, have a conversation with her while Purdy was sneaking that booger sugar.
I love when you say that.
Then we see B Mickey hop in the car with Hoop. He said he let him know that Terry didn't take news very well. He said he's never seen him that mad before and gave him an envelope full of money. So B Mickey's trying to figure out, well, he said that'll be enough money for his surgery, for his daughter's surgery, and asked if he's back in. And Hoop was just kind of like, that's between the two of y'all. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But wished him luck with the surgery. And I actually like how they kind of bonded, how they've been bonded. They was kind of at each other's throat for a little bit.
They was tight before everything got messed up, too. Mm-hmm. They was real close before, the whole wire thing happened.
Yeah.
He got kicked out, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hoop is his boy, yo.
Hoop is just a good dude.
Yeah.
So then at the Source Awards, apparently, there's a lot of celebrities. I thought it was kind of cute how we saw, like the remakes of these celebrities, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Biggie, Faith. I thought it was cute. Yeah. But apparently Purdy was having a conversation with Left Eye. He gave her the courage to leave Trail. So then Trail gets there and ran into her and basically told her, get your ass over here. You on the contract. Okay. And then tried to get her up. This almost caused the fight. And basically, he was just like, you know what? You want her? You can have her. I'll send you the contracts. And basically told them, listen, you don't know who you're dealing with. And it was like, he really think he's like a straight dude. And she's all scared. You don't know who he is. And of course, Meech and Terry, they just think they.
It's all fast.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can I just say?
What?
I do like all the resemblances, the Biggie, the Bone Thugs. But one thing that they got wrong, that must have been the right eye because that was not left eye. Okay? That was not left eye. That was not. That must have been the right eye.
I would like to see their version of Andre 3000.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was mad that they didn't show it.
Yeah, you're right. She didn't look nothing like Left Eye.
No.
She just had the tattoo.
I don't even think she was black.
I didn't know who it was supposed to be until my thing.
So she said Left Eye. And I was like, no, I knew from the hair. And I said, I know they are not going to try to charge it. I think she Asian. And I said, are they going to try to pass this Asian Spanish girl off as left eye? That's why I said that must be the right eye because that is not left.
So in the last scene, we see Pusha. He wants to go meet up with Loco and Javier. and they looking for Meech. He told him that Meech's head ain't in the game. He already left town, and said that he also figured that he didn't get a proper Hustle City goodbye. He said he wanted to talk to him about doing business without Meech. And Javier said, you know what, we got a lot to discuss. We'll be in touch. I said, all right, Pusha.
Mm-hmm.
He also said, yo, you moved the product fast.
Yeah, he did.
Job.
Yeah.
So they impressed with him, but still, that's a snake ass move, yo.
Especially after Meech already warned him.
Yeah,
so now
you know Loco gonna like that. Loco ain't gonna like that. I don't think he's going.
What do you mean? I actually thought so. I was a little. I
thought they was gonna take him out on the tarp. I thought like really, I thought they was gonna take his ass out. But I think they want to talk to Meech about it first.
Oh, okay. Because to me, I was like, I thought he was kind of with it. I was like, to your point, because they didn't.
Loco was with it.
Yeah, because they didn't react immediately, or no, what's his name? Gustavo. What's the Marcus?
Javier.
Oh, Javier. Yeah, because Javier, I don't know. It just seems to me like he was with the shits.
No, I think they wanted him to think that they was with it.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll talk.
So it'll be easier. Yeah, it'll be easier to set his ass up. But I definitely think they want to talk to Meech about it first. And let them know what happened, because I don't think they're gonna go for it. Yeah, that's where their loyalty is.
Yeah, after everything they went through in Mexico,
exactly. That's like family now, basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he up. Steven said, "I'm more concerned about what Jay Pusha is up to, and Loco trusting him after all that went down in Mexico." Good point. Trail's bodyguard Kano reminds me of Wolf. I don't know who Wolf is. Is that somebody that? Is that a different show, or who's Wolf? Let me know, DeMarcus. Steven said Purdy either going to get caught up in a crossfire between Meech and Trail feud or overdose. That's right. I literally called it. I said she's going to OD, or she's going to end up getting unalive. It's ironic that Snoop Dogg wasn't at the Source Awards because he played Pastor Swift in the first 2 seasons of BMF. Well, I mean, I guess you could find some. I feel like you can find some tall, lanky dude and put some braids in his hair, and But that the face that looks like a dog is a very rare face. He does have,
Yeah.
No, I mean, even if you remember, I'm not even trying to be funny. I mean, I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny. If for us people who remember watching the video and he transforms, and this is before AI and all this other stuff really going on, and the fact that they were able to do that so naturally lets you know how much he looks like that damn dog.
No, you know what? I hear you, but for whatever reason, when you said that, I literally thought of, remember when Masika made that comment about Hazel E? And she was like, on paper, she's beautiful. Light skin, green eyes, blonde hair. But in reality, she looks like a dog.
Yeah. They got Suge Knight, though. They had Suge Knight.
Oh, did they have Suge? I missed Suge.
Yeah, the guy in a red shirt, bald head.
Oh, okay.
It was fast. It was quick,
Oh, okay. Thank you, DeMarcus. Wolf was P. Diddy's bodyguard. Okay. So you think Trail is a representation of P. Diddy, is what you're saying, DeMarcus? I feel like that's the vibe that I'm getting. Steven said Nicole's bugging too, but so is her man. So fair play. Sad to see Charles' date get messed up over some bum who can't move on. Well, I don't know, Steven. Have they really moved on? Have they really? I mean, don't get me wrong. We saw, what was it? Raising Canaan, where the man was stalking what's the girl name? The wife. So it could very well be a very similar situation. And writers, I'm gonna need y'all to do better. We seen this literally a season ago. But just being annoying. So same old decent episode overall. Okay. I'm glad that you liked it. Well, thank y'all so much for being here with us on this Sunday night. And thank you so much, VKJTV, for joining us. We really appreciated it. It was a lot of fun. We enjoy the effects. And let us know what you got going on over on your channel and where the people can follow you at.
VKJTV on all platforms. Thank you again, ladies, for having me. It's always fun. It's, for the first time we all together. Hope I can come back again. But definitely look out for your boy. I go live sporadically. So, we do entertainment news and everything else like that. And we talk about BMF and all of that. So just look out for your boy. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you. And look, we all in together now. Coogee Sweather now.
Hey, drop 10 PMs. I'm the man, girlfriend. You get me started. You started. I gotta finish it. You know.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I love the partnership. And so yeah, guys, y'all make sure y'all tune in. I'm dropping. Get ready to drop Family or Fiance recap. We got Real Housewives of Tomorrow coming. Of course, stay tuned for my Beyond the Gates recaps. Y'all know Chanel got the Shy on lock. And I got to get into my Black movie reviews because y'all got on me. Y'all repossessed my Black card a couple weeks ago or like last week. And so I got a lot of stuff. So I think I'm going to start with Inkwell. And then I'll come back and report because I am going to Martha's Vineyard. And I am ashamed to say that I didn't know that the two had anything to do with each other. So I really need to sit down and watch that movie. Nails is turning. So I really need to do that. And I'll come back and report and tell you what I thought about it. So be on the lookout for that, y'all. And yeah, stay in tune to the community board. But if you haven't already, make sure you guys like.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure you guys subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms as well as VayKJ TV. But we are on the Blue Sky, IG, Facebook. And what did I miss, Nels? And the TikTok. Can't forget the TikTok. And y'all, we are about to start going live. We just got the ability to go live on TikTok. So, right. So don't be surprised if you see us over there. Make sure you are following. Okay. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Have a good week and be blessed. Bye-bye.
Salute.
Take us out. I love it. I love it.